My wife Rachel spent 7 months planning my sister Amanda's wedding. 7 months of venue hunting in the outskirts of Portland, selecting white roses mixed with lavender handwriting 300 invitations in careful calligraphy. She treated it like a gift to our new family. I thought it was bringing us all closer together. But 5 days before the ceremony, a text message from Amanda changed everything. Just one sentence. She is not welcome anymore. Those 4 words unraveled months of work, revealed truths I had been avoiding, and forced me to make a choice I never thought I would have to make. Before I tell you what happened next, I would love to know where you are watching this from. Drop your city or country in the comments. If you have ever dealt with family drama, especially around weddings, hit that like button. And please subscribe because we are diving into stories about standing up for the people we love even when it costs us. This is a story about gratitude boundaries and what happens when someone mistakes kindness for weakness. Trust me, you will want to hear how this played out. So let me take you back to how this all started. Rachel and I had been married for 3 years, living in Seattle, where I worked as an IT consultant, and she coordinated events for a nonprofit organization. My relationship with my younger sister Amanda had always been protective. We were 6 years apart, and after our father died when she was 12, I stepped into that role of looking out for her. Our mother Helen, now 70 and retired, lived in Portland. Amanda had always been the baby of the family, pampered in ways I never was. When Rachel first met Amanda at Thanksgiving 3 years ago, she tried hard to connect. Their relationship was polite, not particularly close, but there were no problems. At least that is what I thought. Last January, Amanda announced her engagement to Jason, a real estate agent she had been dating for 2 years. She was ecstatic, constantly showing off her 2-carat diamond ring. The wedding was scheduled for August. One evening during a family dinner, Amanda confessed she felt overwhelmed. "I want it to be perfect, but I do not know where to start." She admitted, her voice carrying that familiar younger sister helplessness that usually got her whatever she wanted. Rachel, sitting beside me, squeezed my hand under the table. "I plan events for a living," Rachel offered. "I would love to help." Amanda hesitated for just a moment before agreeing. I felt a warmth spread through my chest, watching my wife reach out to my sister. From January through July, Rachel threw herself into planning Amanda's wedding with the kind of dedication I had only seen her apply to her most important professional projects. Every weekend, she would drive the 3 hours down to Portland. In those first few months, they visited 12 different venues together. Rachel created detailed spreadsheets comparing prices, capacity availability, and aesthetic appeal. They finally settled on a barn venue in Willamette Valley, rustic and romantic, surrounded by rolling hills and vineyards. Rachel even managed to negotiate the price down from $8,000 to $6,500. Amanda hugged her that day. "You are amazing," she gushed. "I could never do this alone." April and May brought the detailed work. Rachel researched 5 different florists, setting up consultations and test arrangements. Amanda wanted white roses with lavender accents, and Rachel spent hours designing centerpieces, bouquets, and arch decorations. She made physical mock-ups so Amanda could visualize everything. For the caterer, Rachel organized 3 separate tasting sessions. They settled on a menu featuring herb-crusted salmon rosemary chicken and a vegetarian pasta option. Rachel personally handled the dietary restrictions of 37 guests who had allergies or preferences. June and July were consumed by the final details. The guest list alone took weeks to organize. 300 people needed invitations, and Rachel decided to hand address every single envelope in calligraphy. I would find her at our dining table late into the night, her hand cramped carefully, forming each letter. She sourced fabrics for draping string lights for ambiance, custom signs for directions, and even designed a photo backdrop from scratch. Most weekends, she disappeared into craft stores, returning with bags of supplies. I would watch her fall into bed exhausted each night, But when I asked if it was too much, she would smile. I never had a sister, she told me one evening. This feels special. I was proud of her. You are giving Amanda the wedding of her dreams, I said. Rachel was not just investing time. She was investing her heart, her professional reputation, and her hope that this would cement her place in my family. But looking back now, I can see the cracks forming even then. Small things I dismissed as wedding stress. In June, Amanda suddenly changed her mind about the flowers. I do not want the lavender anymore, she announced over the phone. Can we do all white? Rachel had already placed the order, but she called the florist and changed everything. It cost an extra $400. I noticed but said nothing. Early July brought more changes. The centerpieces looked too simple, Amanda texted. Can you add more? Rachel spent 3 additional weekends revising her designs. There was no thank you. Then mid-July, when Rachel gently suggested a design element, Amanda snapped, "It is my wedding, not yours." The words hung in the air during that phone call. Rachel apologized immediately, and I saw the hurt flash across her face. You do not have to put up with this, I told her after she hung up. She is just stressed, Rachel rationalized. Brides get like this. It is fine. But it was not fine. At a family dinner in late July, my mother Helen complimented Rachel's work. You have been such a blessing helping Amanda with all this, Mom said warmly. Amanda interrupted, her voice sharp. Well, it is not like she is doing it for free. I am paying for everything. The statement hung there bitter and ungrateful. Rachel had not charged Amanda a single dollar for her planning services work that would typically cost between $3,000 and $5,000. I felt anger rise in my chest, but Rachel squeezed my hand under the table. Let it go, she whispered. So I did. I told myself that after the wedding things would return to normal. I was wrong. The final week before the wedding arrived, and Amanda's demands intensified. On Monday, she called Rachel 5 times. The napkins are the wrong shade of ivory. I need you to call the caterer again. Can you drive down tomorrow to check the venue setup? Each request was delivered as a command, not a question. Rachel complied with everything, making that 3-hour drive to Portland on a weekday. When she returned home at 9 that evening, I found her sitting in the car in our driveway, just staring ahead. You need to set boundaries, I told her. It is almost over, she replied. Just 1 more week. Wednesday morning at 6, my phone buzzed with a text meant for Rachel. Emergency, Amanda had written. The cake topper broke. Rachel bolted out of bed, drove to a craft store before work, and spent 2 hours creating a custom replacement. She paid $50 for overnight shipping to Portland. Amanda's response came 3 hours later. Okay. Not thank you. Not I appreciate you. Just okay. That evening, I watched Rachel massage her temples, exhaustion etched into every line of her face. This is not worth it, I said quietly. She deserves a perfect day, Rachel replied. She is your sister. Thursday, Rachel took the day off work. She spent 10 hours on the phone double-checking every detail with the venue coordinator, the florist, the caterer, and the DJ. She verified arrival times, confirmed the setup schedule, and made sure every piece of her 7-month plan would execute flawlessly. When she finally came home, she collapsed on the couch. Babe, you have done more than enough, I told her. I want her day to be perfect, Rachel said softly. I did not argue. I wish I had. Friday evening, 5 days before the wedding, Rachel was packing for our trip to Portland. We were planning to drive down Saturday morning for the Sunday ceremony. She was excited, her energy renewed by the approaching finish line. I cannot wait to see everything come together, she said, folding a dress into her suitcase. I was responding to work emails when my phone buzzed. A text from Amanda. Hey, I need to talk to you about something. I typed back casually, What is up? The response came 30 seconds later, and it made my blood run cold. Rachel cannot come to the wedding anymore. I stared at the screen, certain I had misread. What? What do you mean? I typed, my hands suddenly unsteady. She is not welcome. I do not want her there. The words were simple, blunt, devastating. Are you serious right now? I sent back. She planned your entire wedding. I know. But this is my decision. Please respect it. I looked up to find Rachel standing in the doorway holding a pair of shoes. She saw my face. What is wrong? She asked. I turned the phone toward her. She read the messages, and I watched the color drain from her cheeks. Is this a joke? Her voice came out as barely a whisper. My hands shook as I dialed Amanda's number. She answered on the third ring. What her tone was defensive, like she already knew this would be a fight. Amanda, what the hell is going on? I demanded. I do not owe you an explanation, she shot back. You absolutely do, I said, my voice rising. Rachel spent 7 months planning your wedding. And I appreciate that. But Amanda started. Appreciate, I interrupted. You just uninvited her 5 days before the ceremony. There was a pause. Then Amanda sighed, the sound tinny through the phone speaker. Mom said some of the relatives are uncomfortable with Rachel being so involved. What does that even mean? I asked. They think she is trying to take credit for everything Amanda said, like it is her wedding instead of mine. That is insane, I said. She never once took credit for anything. It is just easier if she is not there, Amanda concluded, as if that settled everything. Easier for who I demanded. For me, she snapped back. I pushed harder, refusing to let her hide behind vague excuses. There is more to this. Tell me the truth. Amanda was silent for a long moment. Then she spoke, and her words were laced with resentment. Fine. You want the truth? Everyone keeps talking about how amazing Rachel is, how lucky I am to have her. At my own bridal shower, all anyone could talk about was her planning skills. This is my wedding, my day, and I am tired of being in her shadow. I felt like I had been punched. In her shadow, Amanda, she did all of this for you. I did not ask her to be a martyr about it, Amanda spat back. So this is about your ego, I said slowly, the realization crystallizing. Call it whatever you want, she replied. She is not coming. What about Jason? I asked. Does he know about this? Amanda hesitated. Jason thinks I am overreacting, but it is my wedding, not his. And what do you think happens now? I asked, my voice dangerously quiet. What do you mean? She asked. You really think this is consequence-free? I pressed. Oh, please. Amanda laughed. The wedding is in 5 days. Everything is already paid for. What are you going to do? You will find out, I said. You are bluffing, she taunted. You would not ruin my wedding? I would not, I agreed. But you just did. I hung up. Rachel was sitting on the couch, tears streaming silently down her face. Not loud sobbing, just quiet crying that somehow hurt worse to witness. I sat beside her and pulled her close. I thought we were becoming close, she said, her voice breaking. I am so sorry, I told her. I never thought she would do this. Did I do something wrong? Rachel asked. Was I too pushy? No, I said firmly. God, no. You were perfect. This is on her. She leaned against me, and I felt her shoulders shake. I wrote those invitations by hand, she whispered. 300 of them. I spent my weekends for 7 months. I used my professional contacts to get her discounts. And she does not even want me there. Watching my wife cry, thinking about everything she had sacrificed, something inside me snapped. Pack a bag, I said suddenly. What? Rachel looked up, confused. We are going to Portland. Tonight. Why? She asked. Because if she does not want you at the wedding, I said slowly, then she does not get the wedding you planned. We drove to Portland that night, 3 hours, in heavy silence. Rachel stared out the window while I gripped the steering wheel. We checked into a hotel near downtown at 11. I sent Amanda a text. We need to talk. Tomorrow morning. In person. Her response came immediately. About what you will see, I typed back. I did not sleep. I lay in the dark hotel room, listening to Rachel's uneven breathing, planning exactly what I was going to do. Saturday morning at 7, I called Amanda. She answered groggily. What do you want, Mitchell? Rachel planned everything for your wedding, I said without preamble. Correct, yes, and Amanda replied irritably. And you do not want her there? I continued. We already discussed this, she said, impatience creeping into her voice. Then you do not want anything she touched, I said calmly. What? Amanda's voice sharpened. If Rachel is not welcome, I explained, then nothing she planned is welcome either. You cannot be serious, Amanda laughed, but there was uncertainty in it. Watch me, I said. Everything is already paid for. Contracted, she protested. Most of it is in my name, I countered. Or through Rachel's professional contacts. Want to test me, Mitchell? Do not you dare. Amanda started panic rising in her voice. I hung up. Rachel was awake, sitting up in bed. Mitchell, maybe this is too much, she said quietly. She made her choice, I replied. Now she lives with it. But it is her wedding day, Rachel said, torn. And you were supposed to be her family, I said. She threw that away. Rachel looked at me for a long moment, then nodded slowly. Okay, she whispered. Tell me what to do. The calls began at 8:15. First, I contacted the venue owner, someone Rachel had worked with through her professional network. I explained the situation, keeping my voice steady. My wife was uninvited after planning this wedding for 7 months. The owner was sympathetic. I am so sorry, that is terrible. What do you need? Everything Rachel arranged, I said. The decorative arch, the specialty lighting, the extra decorations we rented. Cancel all of it? Are you sure? The owner asked. The wedding is tomorrow. Positive, I confirmed. They can keep the basic venue rental, but everything Rachel added is gone. There was a pause. I understand, the owner finally said. I will take care of it. At 8:45, Rachel made the second call. Her florist, someone she had worked with for years, across multiple events. I sat beside her holding her free hand, as she explained. After everything we planned, Rachel said, her voice shaking slightly, I am not welcome at the wedding. The florist gasped. Are you kidding me? Say no more, the florist said firmly. I will refund everything. They can have grocery store flowers if they want. Thank you, Rachel whispered. I listened as she canceled the white roses, the lavender accents that had been replaced by all white at Amanda's demand, the cascading bouquets, the ceremony arrangements, and every centerpiece. Months of work gone in a 5-minute phone call. At 9:30, I called the caterer. Rachel had spent weeks negotiating a special menu, leveraging her professional reputation to secure premium options at a reasonable price. The salmon and herb chicken, I said, when the catering manager answered. Cancel it. Sir, we have already prepped most of the ingredients, he protested. Then serve them the basic package, I said. The one that costs half as much. He checked the contract. Technically, since Rachel's name was on the original negotiation, and I was listed as a contact, we were within our rights. The premium menu disappeared. In its place, basic pasta and standard chicken. No hors d'oeuvres, no specialty preparations. By 10, we were loading Rachel's personal decorations into our car. The fabric draping she had selected, and purchased the custom signs she had designed, and printed the elaborate photo backdrop she had built with her own hands over 3 weekends. Everything was stored in a rental unit near the venue for easy setup. We took it all. The venue would be bare, functional but stripped of every personal touch Rachel had added. At 10:45, I called the DJ. Rachel had arranged not just music, but special lighting effects, a sophisticated sound system, and a carefully curated playlist that reflected Amanda's taste. Scale it back to the basic package I instructed. That means no uplighting, the DJ said. No special effects. No premium sound system. Perfect, I said. The wedding would have music, but it would be ordinary. Forgettable. Finally, I sent messages to a handful of guests who were Rachel's professional contacts or personal friends. I explained what had happened, leaving the decision to attend up to them. Several wrote back immediately. We are not going. Guest count dropped by roughly 30 people. By noon, Amanda's phone was exploding. The venue called her. Mr. Thompson canceled the upgraded package. The florist called. Your order has been refunded. The caterer called. We are switching to the basic menu. My phone started ringing. I watched Amanda's name flash on the screen 15 times before I answered. What are you doing? She screamed. Exactly what I said I would do, I replied calmly. You are ruining my wedding, she cried. No, I corrected her. You did that when you uninvited Rachel. Please stop this, Amanda begged, her voice breaking. I am sorry. Okay, Rachel can come. Too late, I said. You made your bed. The text came next, desperate and angry in equal measure. You are being petty. Mom is furious at you. I will never forgive you. This is abuse. I responded only once. You had 7 months to appreciate Rachel. You had 5 days to reconsider. You chose this. Saturday evening, my mother called. Your sister is in tears, she said without greeting. Fix this. Did she tell you what she did? I asked. She said you are sabotaging her wedding over a misunderstanding, Mom replied. I explained everything. The 7 months. The handwritten invitations. The countless hours. The uninvitation 5 days before, and Amanda's real reason, her ego, her jealousy. Mom was quiet for a long time. She said Rachel was not invited? She finally asked. After everything I confirmed? Mom sighed heavily. That girl. I raised her better than this. She did not tell me to fix it. She just said this is going to be a disaster. She earned it, I replied. Sunday morning arrived. Rachel did not want to go to the wedding. I cannot watch this, she said, sitting on the edge of the hotel bed. Then we will not, I agreed. We stayed at the hotel. At 10, I sent Amanda a final text. We will not be there. Enjoy your day. But I needed to know what happened. My close friend David was attending as a guest, and I asked him to observe and report back. He agreed immediately. The update started at 11. Dude, David texted. This is rough. No flowers anywhere. He sent a photo. The venue looked barren, stripped down to its basic frame. The beautiful floral arch that Amanda had posted about on Instagram for months was gone. Guests were arriving, and I could see confusion in their faces even in the photograph. At noon, David texted again. Ceremony just started. Amanda's face when she walked in, man. He did not need to say more. Another message followed. She looked around and just stopped, like a deer in headlights. The ceremony proceeded, but David reported that Amanda looked visibly upset throughout. There was no beautiful backdrop for photos. The grocery store flowers were obvious and cheap-looking, a stark contrast to what had been promised. 1 o'clock brought reception updates. Reception is awkward, David wrote. Food is mediocre. People are noticing. Someone just asked where the salmon went. Amanda's friend told them there was a change of plans. The tables were bare without centerpieces. The photo backdrop Rachel had made was gone, replaced by nothing. David sent a photo of guests taking selfies against a blank wall. The decorative draping was absent. The special lighting was absent. Everything that would have made this wedding memorable was missing. At 2, David sent a more urgent message. She is crying in the bathroom. Her bridesmaids are with her. Then I overheard someone say, this is not what she showed us in pictures. Jason looks angry. He is arguing with her in the corner. I imagined the scene, Amanda realizing that every single person in attendance could see that something was terribly wrong, that her dream wedding had become an embarrassment. Half an hour later, David texted again. "Oh no." She just got her phone. She is typing something. My phone buzzed. A text from Amanda. "I hope you are happy." "You ruined my wedding. Everyone is asking questions. This is all your fault. You and Rachel are selfish and cruel. Do not ever contact me again." I took a screenshot of our entire conversation from Friday night. I sent it back to her along with a message. "You told Rachel she was not welcome after 7 months of work. You said you did not want her there. So I made sure she was not. Along with everything she touched. You wanted this wedding without her. You got it. Enjoy." Amanda tried to control the narrative. She posted a vague message on social media within the hour. "When family betrays you on your wedding day." It was designed to garner sympathy, and some people did comment supportive messages. But truth has a way of surfacing. One of her bridesmaids, who apparently knew what really happened, commented publicly, "Maybe do not uninvite the person who planned everything. I did not post anything. I did not need to." Family friends who knew the truth began sharing it privately. Public opinion shifted quickly. The following week brought mixed reactions. Some relatives were furious with me. "You went too far," they said. "You embarrassed her publicly." Others understood. "Amanda had it coming, and Uncle told me over the phone. She treated Rachel like garbage." My mother called midweek, her voice heavy. "I am disappointed in Amanda," she said, "but I wish you had handled it differently." "How?" I asked. "By letting her get away with it." Mom sighed. "No, I suppose not." She paused. "I understand why you did it, Mitchell. Jason, the groom, apparently had a massive fight with Amanda on their wedding night about uninviting Rachel. David heard through mutual friends that Jason had been against the decision from the start. Rumors began circulating that the marriage was already on rocky ground. Rachel and I returned to Seattle on Monday. The week that followed was difficult for her. Part of me feels guilty, she admitted one evening as we sat on our balcony. "Do not," I said firmly. "You did nothing wrong." "But it was her wedding day," Rachel said. "And she chose to hurt you," I replied. "Actions have consequences." Rachel nodded but remained quiet. The guilt did not disappear overnight. She had spent so much time envisioning Amanda's perfect day that seeing it fall apart even justifiably weighed on her. Over the following months, Rachel went to therapy. "Just a few sessions," she said, but they helped. She talked through the feelings of betrayal. "I really thought we were becoming sisters," she told me one night, tears in her eyes again. "I know," I said, holding her. But sisterhood is not one-sided. She had to learn that she could not make people appreciate her, that she could only control her own actions and responses. Slowly, she began to heal. "I cannot make someone value me," she said one day, "but I can choose not to let them devalue me." I was proud of her for reaching that understanding. The crisis brought Rachel and me closer. We had always been a strong team, but defending her against my own family cemented something deeper between us. "Thank you for standing up for me," she said several times. Always, I told her, "You are my person. You are my family." We learned that we were each other's strongest advocates, that marriage meant choosing your partner even when it was difficult, even when it cost you relationships you had had your entire life. Amanda and I did not speak for months. No calls, no texts, no attempts at reconciliation from either side. I did not reach out, and neither did she. Part of me wondered if I would ever have a relationship with my sister again. Part of me was not sure I wanted one. Then, in late December, a Christmas card arrived at our apartment. It was unsigned, but the handwriting was Amanda's. Inside was a generic holiday message, and nothing else. Rachel found it in the mail and brought it to me. "What do you think?" she asked. I looked at the card, at my sister's familiar handwriting. "Maybe someday," I said, "but not today." Rachel nodded. "Not today," she agreed. We put the card in a drawer and did not discuss it further. Sitting here now, nearly a year later, I think about what I learned. I learned that family does not give you a free pass to treat people like garbage. I learned that love without respect is not really love, it is just obligation wearing a mask. Rachel taught me that sometimes the most loving thing you can do is say no more, to draw a line, and refuse to let people cross it, no matter who they are. My sister spent 7 months receiving gifts of time, skill, and love. She treated those gifts like an entitlement instead of a blessing. When someone shows up for you the way Rachel showed up for Amanda, you honor that. You do not throw it away because your ego feels threatened. I thought for a long time that keeping peace with my sister was more important than standing up for my wife. I was wrong. The person who chooses you, who shows up every day, who sacrifices without being asked, that is who deserves your loyalty. Blood does not automatically mean family. Actions do. Character does. Amanda learned the hard way that people are not disposable, that you cannot use them and then discard them when their presence becomes inconvenient. She wanted a perfect wedding without the person who made it possible. She got exactly what she asked for. Sometimes I wonder if I went too far. Those thoughts come late at night in quiet moments when doubt creeps in. But then I look at Rachel, the woman who spent 7 months pouring her heart into something beautiful, only to be told she was not wanted. And I realize I did not go too far. I went exactly far enough. Because the person you build your life with, the person who stands beside you when everything falls apart, that is the person worth burning bridges for, even if those bridges lead back to where you came from. Family is not just who you are born to. Family is who shows up, who stays, who values you not for what you can do for them, but for who you are. Rachel is my family, and I would make the same choice again. So let me ask you, have you ever had to choose between blood family and the family you have built? Have you ever had to stand up for someone you love, even when it cost you other relationships? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear your stories. If this resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more real stories about standing up, setting boundaries, and choosing the people who choose you. Share this with someone who might need to hear it. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it reminds you that you deserve people in your life who appreciate you, who value your efforts, and who treat your love like the gift it is. Take care of yourselves and the people who take care of you.